Hey, Falcons fans! Hold on to your red jerseys because we've got some explosive news coming out of Flowery Branch that's about to shake up everything you thought you knew about this 2025 season. I'm talking about moves that nobody saw coming, decisions that are sending shockwaves through the organization, and drama that's unfolding faster than a Bijan Robinson breakaway run. And trust me, by the time I'm done breaking this down for you, you're going to understand exactly why this franchise is making these bold moves right now. We've got coaching staff earthquakes with like Hilliard getting the axe, kicking competitions that are more intense than a playoff game, and some behind-the-scenes intel that's going to blow your mind about what's really happening in that building. This isn't just roster moves. People, this is about the soul of this franchise and where we're headed. The receiving core that looked unstoppable last season with Drake London's historic 100-catch campaign? Now they can't even find the end zone. Michael Penix Jr. throwing to ghosts while our weapons disappear faster than our playoff hopes. And don't even get me started on this kicking carousel that's got more twists than a soap opera. But here's where it gets crazy. I've got exclusive insight on what these moves really mean for our championship window, and the one decision that could either save this season or send us spiraling into complete chaos. Fire smash that subscribe button right now. Fire. Listen, only 2% of you watching are actually subscribed, and that's insane. If you want to be the first to know when the Falcons make their next shocking move, when trades go down, or when I drop my game predictions that have been scary accurate this season, you need to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. This channel is about to explode with exclusive Falcons content that you won't find anywhere else, and I'm not letting you miss out on being part of this journey from day one. Trust me, what I'm about to reveal next will change everything you think you know about where this team is headed. Let's dive in. But before we dive into the nuclear details, let me tell you something that's going to make your jaw drop. The decisions being made right now aren't just about this season, they're about setting up a dynasty for years to come. And when you hear what I'm about to tell you about the coaching changes and the kicker situation, you're going to realize that this organization is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. All right, Falcons faithful, here comes the bombshell that's rocking the entire NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons have officially parted ways with wide receivers coach Ike Hilliard, and this move is sending seismic waves through the organization. Now, before you start panicking, let me break down exactly what this means and why this could be the genius move that transforms our offense into an absolute juggernaut. Ike Hilliard, who came to us with an impressive pedigree, we're talking about a guy who was a first-round pick back in '97, played 12 seasons in the NFL, caught over 500 passes, and had coaching experience with the Steelers, Commanders, and Bills. This wasn't some random coach, this was a guy with serious credentials who joined our staff after being Auburn's co-offensive coordinator. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is where you need to pay attention because this tells the whole story about what's happening in Atlanta right now. Look at the numbers, people. Last season under Hilliard's guidance, we saw some absolutely historic performances. Drake London, our boy Drake, put up career-defining numbers with 100 receptions, 1,271 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns. We're talking about making franchise history here. London became only the third player in Falcons history to hit those magical numbers, joining legends like Roddy White and Terrence Mathis. And it wasn't just London. Darnell Mooney was 8 yards away from breaking 1,000 receiving yards, and Ray McCloud put up career-high numbers across the board. The receiving core was absolutely on fire. But here's where the plot thickens, and this is where you start to understand the real story behind this coaching change. 3 games into this season, and our receivers have been silent in the end zone. We're talking about a complete 180 from last year's explosive production. Drake London, our superstar receiver, has 16 catches for 159 yards and 0 touchdowns. 0. Mooney's got 6 catches for 64 yards. McCloud's got 5 for 71. And here's the stat that's going to make your blood boil. No wide receiver or tight end has caught a touchdown pass from Michael Penix Jr. this season. None. We've scored 1 touchdown in our last 8 quarters of football. That's not a typo, 1 touchdown in 8 quarters. And that Week 3 shutout loss to Carolina? That was the final straw that broke the camel's back. But here's where this story gets exciting, and this is why I'm telling you this move might be pure genius. Enter TJ Yates, and if that name sounds familiar, it should. Yates was our receivers coach from 2022 to 23, and now he's stepping back into that role while maintaining his duties as passing game coordinator. This isn't just a replacement, this is a strategic masterstroke. Think about it, Yates already knows our system, he's worked with these players before, and he understands the culture that Raheem Morris is building. This isn't starting from scratch, this is fine-tuning a machine that was already running at high performance. But wait, because if you thought the coaching changes were dramatic, you haven't heard anything yet. The kicking situation in Atlanta has turned into a full-blown soap opera that would make daytime TV producers jealous. Remember when we released Young Ho Koo, a guy who'd been our reliable kicker for years? That sent shockwaves through Falcons Nation. But the front office saw the writing on the wall after that missed 44-yarder against Tampa Bay in Week 1. Enter Parker Romo, and in his debut against Minnesota, this guy was automatic. 5 field goals, including a 54-yarder. 5! When our offense could only find the end zone once despite 5 red zone trips, Romo was the difference maker in that victory. But here comes the plot twist that nobody saw coming. After going 0-4-2 in that disastrous Carolina game, Romo finds himself in the exact same position that got Koo released. Coach Morris dropped the hammer on Monday when he announced they're bringing in more competition for the kicker position. His exact words? "You have to do that until you get it right, and you cannot allow that to be the reason to have this stuff happen." This organization is not playing games, people. They went from Koo to Romo in a heartbeat, and now Romo's on the hot seat after one bad game. That's the kind of ruthless pursuit of excellence that championship organizations demand. Here's what's really happening in Atlanta, and this is where you need to understand the bigger picture. This isn't panic, this is precision. This is an organization that refuses to accept mediocrity at any position. When Coach Morris says full transparency, we didn't play well as a team, he's not making excuses, he's setting the standard. The coaching change with Hilliard isn't about blame, it's about optimization. When you have talent like Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and Kyle Pitts, and they're not producing in the red zone, you make changes to maximize that potential. And the kicker situation? That's about understanding that in a league where games are decided by 3 points, you cannot have question marks at crucial positions. Listen, Falcons Nation, I feel your frustration. Watching our talented receivers struggle to find the end zone is painful. Seeing our kicking game become a revolving door is stressful. But here's what separates championship organizations from the rest of the pack. Champions make tough decisions. They don't let sentiment override success. They don't accept good enough when greatness is within reach. Drake London said it perfectly in the locker room after that Carolina disaster. It just wasn't good at all. It's not our standard at all. That's the mentality we need. That's the accountability that builds winners. Here's why I'm more excited about this team than ever before. These moves show that this organization has the courage to make difficult decisions. They're not content with moral victories or "we'll get him next time" mentality. TJ Yates stepping back into the receivers coach role brings continuity and expertise. He knows these players, he knows the system, and he knows how to get results. And whoever wins this kicker competition is going to be battle-tested and ready for the pressure moments that define seasons. What we're witnessing isn't chaos, it's evolution. This franchise is fine-tuning every detail to create something special. When you have a quarterback like Michael Penix Jr. with unlimited potential, receiving talent that's proven they can dominate, and a running game anchored by superstars, you don't let coaching or special teams inconsistencies derail your championship aspirations. So here's what I need from every member of Falcons Nation: trust the process. These aren't desperate moves, these are calculated decisions by an organization that's building something incredible. The next few weeks are going to be fascinating to watch. Will TJ Yates unlock the full potential of our receiving core? Who's going to win this kicking competition and become our reliable leg for years to come? How will these changes impact our chemistry and performance? One thing I guarantee, this organization is not settling for mediocrity. They're making the tough decisions now to set us up for greatness later. Keep your eyes on Flowery Branch, keep supporting this team, and get ready for some incredible football. Because when all these pieces click together, we're going to be unstoppable. That's all for today's breaking news, but trust me, this story is far from over. Make sure you're subscribed because the next few weeks in Falcons Nation are going to be wild. Go Falcons!